It's the Benz Brunani womanist. Baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. You sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea. We are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long shorts. You might learn something you never know. Collect you fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say you're mine, say you're mine.
Do you ever think about me? Do you ever cry yourself to sleep in the middle of the night when you're awake? Are you calling out for me? Do you ever reminisce? Ooh! I can't believe I'm acting like this. Girl, it's crazy how I still can feel your kiss. It's been 6 months, 8 days, 12 hours since you went away. Brexit, Brexit, Brexit. Woo! I miss you so much and I don't know what to say. European Union. I should be over you. I should know better, but it's just not the same. It's been 6 months, 8 days, 12 hours since you went away. That's on austerity. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. That song was chosen for a reason also, because we're very much going to get into that singer. We're going to do all of that. As you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, this is looking a little bit cute, not gonna lie. The setup is starting to look a little bit cute. I'm starting to find my feet, but I say I'm starting to find my feet. Jonathan helped me with some bits, and there's gonna be like a whole revamp of the background. I wish I could take you upwards. Higher, 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 Jesus, higher, 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 Jesus, higher. Lower, rishi, rishi. Lower, rishi, rishi. Lower, suela, suela. Lower, suela, suela. Because they're the demons. So you know. And Carolyn Bryant can join them there, but we'll talk about that later. You're probably like, what is going on? Like, what the hell am I listening to? It's me, Kelechi, in the most gorgeous place to be. Obviously, you can see the lighting, and I'm wearing my little... Is this leopard print? Or is it cheetah print? Because I don't know the man them in the Serengeti like that, but are they even in the Serengeti? Am I, one of my... Next to my little finger, the skin between my little finger and my other finger, there's some dryness, but it's because I washed my hands and I didn't carry enough moisturizer with me today. But anyway, we move. In the most beautiful place to be. Let me actually finish the freaking intro. No, what I was going to say before that is I wish I could take you higher with the camera, because above my head are all my tarot decks. Not all of them, but the ones I've brought to the office. They're above my head, and I've got an actual reveal. I pre-ordered this deck, this beautiful deck, before it came out, obviously pre-order, and it's arrived. So I'm going to do a little unboxing. It's called the This Might Hurt Tarot deck. I can't wait. It's a special edition. I'm very, very excited because I've been using the Lisa Starr Modern Tarot Witch deck for Modern Witch Tarot deck. Lisa Starr Modern Witch Tarot deck for a minute, and you know I love that deck. I do most of my readings with that deck, but I've now got this deck. Technically, I should have charged it. I should have cleaned it and I should have charged it before I started using it to read, because I'm going to use it for the tarot reading today, but we move, it's fine. And yeah, anyway, let me get back to the intro. It's me, Kelechi, in the most gorgeous place to be, and you are listening / watching SYM, officially known as Say Your Mind, unofficially known as what? That's right, Suck Your Mum. I'm whispering because Lev is with me at the office, and I just don't want him to go to nursery and start shouting that. But anyway, we continue, obviously. Oh, definitely cutting down on the swearing today. You can trust me on that. What have I been up to this week? Or in the last week, sorry. Happy bank holiday, by the way, if you have a bank holiday. I feel like we've got a few this month. I don't know what's going on. Ever since I've become like self-employed over the past few years, I don't know when our bank holidays are because they actually don't mean a lot to me. I mean, apart from the fact that like bank transactions are a bit delayed or post office isn't open, literally banks aren't open. Apart from those things, I don't, and nursery's not open. Apart from those things, I just genuinely don't know when things are happening because it's immaterial to me. Maybe I should care more. I don't know. What was I saying? That I don't know if this print that I'm wearing is cheetah or leopard. Maybe you'll help me with that. When I actually figure out how to change these questions on the Spotify thing, maybe you can help with that. Or just tweet it at me. Either way, it looks cute. I got it from Manners London. Yeah. I thought I'd started messing things up in my little setup. I got it from Manners London. It's a little cat suit. It's a cat suit, very cute. I just wish that sometimes cat suits would make allowance for the fact that some of us have skinny ankles. We might have like thick thighs, but we've got skinny ankles. So I always have to like fold my, I always have to fold whichever leggings I have on. I usually have to fold them up just so they can hug higher up on my ankle or my leg. But I love this outfit. Anyway, I love this whole look. So what did I was going to say what I did this week. I need to get my brain to slow down. I went to go and watch 4 Black Boys for the third time. Well, second time this season, this year. First time was last year at the Royal Court. They're at the Apollo Theatre. I think most of the tickets are sold out. But I went to go and watch it with Winston Good and Ebenita and their, organisation. And it was just really, you know what? I enjoyed 4 Black Boys more. So for the full title is For Black Boys Who Have Considered Suicide When the Hue Gets Too Heavy. The third time watching it was actually my favorite. There was something different about the energy of the actors. I think that they were playing around with the emotions behind the words more. And I think you get to do that when you're in the theatre, night to night, you get to like tweak it and try different things. And I really think that it was superbly measured when I saw it this time round. And I think that's enough. Like seeing it 3 times, Kelechi, Otito, it is enough. Calm down. Baby, calm down. Calm down. Lockdown. Calm down. So yeah, that is exactly what I'll be doing. If you're hearing remnants of what our little baby boy is watching on the tablet, then, you just have to work with me, got to work with me. I was meant to go to a few other engagements, but honestly, I didn't feel up to it. I was so tired. I did the bare minimum. I'm trying to conserve energy because I've got to get going on writing this novel and I'm not making much headway. Not because I don't have the ideas, kind of because I don't have all of the ideas, but more so because I just need to be a cleaner vessel. Like I need to be able to channel more accurately, and I'm just not there right now. So I need to rest a bit more. However, I started my tap dance classes, not cooning, not like them lot in the Tories, not tap dancing like a black Tory, just tap dancing, right? So I used to take tap dancing classes when I was at Brit School. So that's when I was around 16. And then now I'm 36 and I haven't done it since. And I really wanted to do it. So I got myself a cute pair of gold tap dancing shoes. I should have brought them in to show you. They're super cute. Gold pair of tap dancing shoes. They've got like little red laces. Proper feeling like Dorothy. Only that Kansas, I don't know what's going on with this country or with this city because, yeah, I'm not home. But even the home, as in Nigeria, even that one, it gets as it be. But anyway, gold tap dancing shoes. Went to my first tap dancing class in ages, in forever, on like last week Tuesday. And then I've got like weekly lessons and I'm just so excited. And I wasn't bad, like I wasn't like sick, but I wasn't bad, So I'm looking forward to it. It's a 6-week course, I believe. And then I'll see how I get on and then I can, sign up to another if I want to keep it going. I know I'm going to miss one of the weeks. If I'm not mistaken, I'm going to miss 1 week. But the teacher is decent. We're having a great time. And I love that it's just us adults, like people who are older than I am, and they are taking tap classes, beginners tap classes. It's beautiful because I just feel like it goes to show that at any age, like you can do the things that you want to do at any time. Like time is really a construct. It's a man-made construct. Take whatever you want to do, just do it. No Nike, just do it. Swish, swoosh. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to continuing with that. Like you going to the places that continue to fill you with joy, the places that continue to fill you with hope, I think is so, so important. Yeah, it's just so important because life is hard enough as it is. And I speak about so many heavy subjects sometimes. Like imagine if I didn't have the things that I just did for the sake of doing it, you know, just for the sake of doing it. With that being said, I am now looking for a voice agent because like I've done quite a lot of voice work, especially with narrating audiobooks and this and that and this, and I don't actually have a voice agent. So I want a voice agent now. So I'll have a literary agent, an acting agent, and I need a voice agent. I need them things to be coming in. So you'll just be listening to one random advert and it's my voice coming through, my dulcet tones, coming through the microphone, also known as a microphone. Can't wait. So yeah, on the lookout for that. Birmingham live show, I gave you all of the wrong information. Why? Because Mercury is in micro braids and it is tight. It is tight. The live show in Birmingham will not be on the 17th of June. I actually have an important engagement on that actual day. So it's wild that I even thought that I'd be doing it on that date. It should be the week after, but we're still finalizing all of these things. Again, I'm not trying to put pressure on nobody or even put pressure on myself because, again, Mercury is in Lucozade. So whenever everything gets sorted, then we move. But June is what we're working with. End of June is what we're working with. But keep you updated on all of that. Also, I've set up the regular giving page for the children's home on enthuse.com. I will add the link to the show notes. I have to remember to add the link to the show notes. If I do not add it, can somebody, because some of you really like to tweet at me over the most mundane things, to be like, Kelechi, I think you forgot, da, 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 da. So remind me if I don't put it. Because it'll be great to have lots more people giving regularly £5 a month, whatever you want to do to support, so I can finish this freaking children's home so children can actually live in it. My God, like it has drained me of my resources, has drained me of my creativity. Like, let's get this thing over the line, please. So yeah, that's that. Are those all my things? Yeah, I think I've covered everything. Anyway, let's get to the tarot. Let's get to the tarot. I've chosen the question. Let's see. Baby, come. I swear, like he's making that thing louder as I'm recording, but maybe not. Maybe I'm imagining it. This question for tarot this week says, will we reconnect? Blessings, Kelechi. I hope all is well in your world. I am a Virgo baby girl who has just left a situationship December 5th. December 5th. Ah! I've got things to say about December 5th, but I shall not be saying it. December 5th. Sorry, why am I laughing? Like, you had left a situationship on December 5th. Why am I? It's not about you, Kelechi. Let's start again. Blessings, Kelechi. I hope all is well in your world. I am a Virgo baby girl who has just left a situationship December 5th. Look how long you wrote this to me on the 16th of January and I'm only getting to it now. But everything happens when it's meant to happen. Okay. I did not know it was a situationship at the time. The guy I was with was also a Virgo and 2 years older than me, 24. We both go to the same school and had the same class together during the situationship. While in the relationship, he barely called, texted, and chatted with me. When I was in an intimate relationship with him and asked him what would happen if we had sex, he pulled the virginity card and that I should have sex with someone I love. I got upset and was very disrespected. He never took accountability for how he talked to me. Since the breakup, I have been getting feelings that he could be coming back into my life. I have some choice words that I still want to say to him, but in my heart of hearts, I know he's not good for me to be around. With all that being said, I ask whether this man will come back into my life and will he stay? Those are 2 questions. Thank you so much for taking the time to read my letter. Many blessings upon your houses, a Virgo baby girl, a Gemini rising and a Capricorn moon. Oh, so Pluto's really playing with your emotions. And it's just emotions taking me over. Caught up in sorrow, lost in the soul. And if you would come back. Oh, I see what you did there, Spirit. Oh, that's why I was singing it. And if you would come back, come home to me, darling. Don't you know there's nobody left in this world to hold me tight? Don't you know there's nobody left in this world to kiss goodnight? I keep giving you, what do they call it in France? Bangers. Les bangers. Yeah? Bangers. That, c'est banger. All right? There you go. But we'll get into this. Will they be coming back? There are so many. I'm fascinated by, will they reach out? Will they contact me? Tarot videos on YouTube, they genuinely fascinate me. I'm trying to understand the psychology behind them. They're so funny to me because there's so many of them. And it makes me think that so many people are waiting and waiting and waiting on people who probably don't deserve to be waited on. Like, really, F them mofos. See what I did there? Because we know the baby boy is in the house. So, well, let's get to the tarot. So let's just switch cameras so you can see my new deck. Yeah, This Might Hurt tarot deck. Very beautiful. It's by, let's see, Isabella Rotman. So I pre-ordered it months ago. The moment I saw the illustrations, I was just like, that is a bit of me. So it shows here, I hereby certify this is a copy of the This Might Hurt tarot deck, limited to 2,000 copies, numbered 1346. I bet that's an angel number for me, of 2,000. So that's what that is there. Very cute. So it comes with a journal as well, the Pocket Tarot journal, and it comes with the deck. Now, like I said before, I ideally should charge up this deck before using it. So usually what I would do is sleep with it under my pillow before actually using it, and charge it up with moonlight as well. My foot was itchy for a second there. It's really beautiful. It's got a black woman depicted as the Strength card. And yeah, it's just gorgeous. It's come with a little, I think it's a spread as well. Yeah. You've got a little tarot mat to use as well. And it comes with an oracle deck as well. So I'm going to get into the oracle deck at some point as well and use that when I'm doing the readings. So all beautiful things. Gorgeous. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting all the way into that. Drop that on the floor. Anyway, let's get into your question. Will this person come back to you? What I'm trying to understand is, and maybe I read it wrong, maybe I need to read it again, but why were you offended that I mean, we talk about virginity and all of that being a construct. Sorry, I'm blowing into the new deck, giving it some of my hot breath. My breath feels really hot today. Why are you offended that they said that, you know, what is it? Let's switch back to this one. Why are you offended that they said that they didn't want to sleep with you? So it's situationship. I don't know, like, were you intimate? Like, were you doing things but not penetration? I don't know. You don't have to answer that, but I'm just trying to understand what exactly you were talking about. But I feel like it was a fair and honest thing for them to say, like, don't waste your pum-pum on me, baby. Like, I know that it can feel like rejection, but sometimes rejection is protection. Literally. So let's see. Spirit. Honorable ancestors, ascended masters. This baby girl I mean, she asked in January, and you know what I'm like with my email spirit. But first of all, can you tell me about this guy? Let's just start there. I'm just trying to gauge his, oh, beautiful. Let's see what the cards are saying. So we've got the Chariot that came out. It's probably how I've shuffled it. So we'll go with the Chariot card first. So the Chariot card tells me that they're still figuring out a lot of stuff in their life. And I don't know, I just get a response, not responsible, but I just get a sort of fair vibe from them. You mentioned that it's the Virgo man, and honestly, sometimes I find Virgo men, not all, because I know some like really cool Virgo men, but there are some Virgo men who behave like wet blankets. Like, they are too concerned with playing the good guy or the nice guy that they never want to like get to it. Exactly. So they're a bit of, sometimes they can come across as people pleasers or a bit passive aggressive. So, but again, I'm not talking about all Virgos, right? I'm just talking about a specific. Yeah, and he's just not ready for intimacy. So we've got the Hierophant card here, and we've also got the Lovers card that comes out. I mean, they're coming out next to each other because I also haven't shuffled well. But we've got the Chariot, we've got the Ten of Wands, we've got the Hierophant, and we've got the Lovers card. Let me just put the Lovers here so it can be seen. This is so beautifully drawn. I feel like I love this deck so much already. So they're still racing through life. I mean, you mentioned that they're 24. Like, they're still figuring things out. I don't know, has their frontal lobe, has it even finished developing? I mean, it's for both of you really. But Ten of Wands here says that there's a lot of baggage, I feel like, almost that comes from either their studies as well as their family life, as in like their household, and the way that they've been brought up as well. And the Lovers card, they do want to be intimate. They do want to get close to somebody, but they just haven't quite learned how to yet. And they're very, very afraid of hurting somebody, of hurting somebody's feelings. And you know what? I feel like I get it. Some people just don't like to feel that whole thing of like, oh, you know, I've hurt somebody's feelings, and in somebody's story, I'm a bad guy, to the extent that they just don't act. Like, they want things to change, but they just won't act. You know, like, it's almost like, you know, people talk about, oh, you know, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Like, they are happy for life to happen to them, rather than them having to make any decision that makes them look bad in any way. And I struggle to trust those kind of people. Like, say what you need to say and do what you need to do in it. Like, you're going to be the villain in somebody's story. And as long as you know that you were your authentic self and you did what you needed to do and you stay true to yourself, it might sting, but you've just got to do you. Like, you've really got to. So that was the first question about, like, okay, where's his head at, sort of thing. And now let's look at them coming back. I mean, do you want them to come back? Because they seem a bit avoidant. So if they're a bit avoidant, and maybe you're in maybe a bit of an anxious attachment type, maybe that's why you're like, oh, you know, the emotional unavailability appeals to you in that regard. So let's see, will this Virgo man come back to this Virgo baby girl? I've got to be careful not to influence this, because I have my own, like, personal opinion of, like, the behavior. And I mean, this is since what is it, January that you sent this, and it happened December 5th. And we've got a lot of eclipses happening. This is eclipse season. So off the top of my head, I feel like there has been definitely some communication, or there will be some communication soon enough. Let's see what these cards are. Yeah, that's the vibe I get. I feel like by the time I've already done this reading, you lot have already spoken in some way. I don't know, have you slept together now? Because I've got Two of Cups and I've got Ace of Cups. So that's the vibe that I'm getting. That, well, if it's either them or you've kind of moved on. My girl, my G. It looks like that. Oh, Queen of Swords. Yeah, I feel like you're in a much better place mentally about this now. We've got the Queen of Swords that comes out here as well, Libra card. Yeah. Something's shifted and you feel more mature. You feel more in your power. And I think this eclipse season will bring out more things. Yeah. And then the Strength card has come out. Yeah, something's shifted in that time frame. I think so. Just moving the cards up a bit and spreading them out. Something shifted, but you've definitely done something. You've definitely released in some way, because I'm saying that because of this Ace of Cups. That's just very, very kind of like, you can see it like very, I'm not going to say the graphic image that's come to mind. If you can see the image, you'll know what I'm thinking about. And then we've got the Two of Cups here, which feels like a reconciliation or a return or reciprocity of love or affection. Is what I get there. This deck is absolutely stunning. My God. So if you are already chatting or whatever, or you've moved on, I feel like, what's the advice for you? That's what I want to know more of. Like, what spirit do you have in terms of advice for this Virgo baby girl and how she shares her love and shares of herself going forward? What is the advice for this Virgo baby girl? Sharing herself and her love going forward. Saving all my love for you. Are you a side chick now? Why did that song come to my head? Let's see what this is. Three of Wands, the Tower. Okay. 1 second. I'm having to pause as I'm recording because Lev is asking for every manner of everything. So the cards that come out is Three of Wands. Show that there. Three of Wands, as well as the Tower here. And again, it's very much giving sort of like sexual energy, very phallic. Three of Wands, yeah, it just really says like, you've got to expand your horizons. That's why we're seeing this here. Like, you've got to expand your horizons, allow yourself to try something different, to try something new. Explore your sexuality in a way that isn't shrouded in like shame or anything. Like, allow for your curiosity to do what your curiosity is, wanting to do. Like, don't limit yourself is the message I think that comes through there. Three of Wands is about expansion. And the Tower is very much making me think of, like, just explore more. The Tower people usually see it exactly. We've got the Magician card that comes out as well. So just put the Magician card down. We've got the Magician card that comes out as well that confirms that, like, you've got to own your power. You've got to really step into your power and make this exploration about you and not how people are accepting you. Three of Cups. Yeah, have a good time. Definitely, like, ease off and try to date more than one person, I feel like is the advice here for you. I hope that resonates. I hope that resonates. Woo. Okay. That's that. Done for tarot. Me and my bare foot. At least my foot's creamed, At least my foot's creamed. Let me bring this over here. Tarot. I didn't bring out my my other deck. Where is it? My Dickhead in Recovery affirmation cards. I'd have to reach up. No, we'll leave that. I feel like that covers it. Anyway, let me pick up this week's show sponsors, who are ExpressVPN, before we get to share your magnificence. So thank you to ExpressVPN for sponsoring this week's episode. Using the internet without ExpressVPN is like checking into your bag or checking your baggage in at the airport without a lock. And you know what? For the longest time, I was actually doing that. Can you imagine? I wasn't padlocking my luggage when I was traveling. I was moving like a waste man. Can you see how ridiculous that is? Anyway, when you don't have VPN network or you don't have ExpressVPN, that's exactly what you're doing. You think your stuff is kept private, but you never know who's going through your panties, your hemorrhoid cream, I don't know, like your sex toys. There was one time that I was traveling from Atlanta to Washington, DC, and I had my vibrator in my luggage, and when it was going through the scanner, and then they were laughing. God. Anyway, moving on. So when you go online without VPN, internet service providers can see every single website that you visit. So they can legally sell this information without your consent, and they can sell it to like ad companies, tech giants. They can just do whatever they want, right? So when you use ExpressVPN, it allows for you to do what you need to do and not for your internet service provider to see your online activity. Your identity is anonymized by a secure VPN server, and your data is also encrypted for maximum security and protection. So it's really, really easy to use. You can fire it up on anything. I've got it on my MacBook. I've got it on my iPhone. You can even put it on your smart TV if that's how you're rolling. You can use it. You can put it on your router as well, so then you're not having to worry. You could just use your internet. Just put it on your router and you're not having to put it on each separate device in your home. It's worth using. So secure your online activity by visiting expressvpn.com/straws. That's expressvpn.com/straws. So you can get your an extra 3 months free when you sign up. So that's expressvpn.com/straws. Go and get your things. Anyway, let's get to share your magnificence. I actually have a voice note this week. I've got a voice message that I'm going to play so we can all get into that. Let me see where it is, because I just thought it was just so gorgeous. I just need to remember everybody's name. Here we go. Let's see. Baby, come down, come down. Why is that song in my head? Anyway, let's do Share Your Magnificence.
Hello, Kelechi. It's your favorite fan from the DMV area. Those who know. Anyway, calling to share another Share Your Magnificence. And it's a duo, so it goes to both you and Jazrina Harlow. So as per usual, you hit it out the park by putting us all on to human design. And I'm always very interested in spiritual education and edification. So of course I trotted myself right on over to Jazrina Harlow's page, booked an appointment. She is all things lovely and wonderful. She's just so easy on the eyes, so beautiful, and such a beautiful spirit too. And as of right now, I've had 2 readings with her. So I had a thorough reading on my human design. And I was just really blown away. I'm still processing. It's been 3 weeks, I think, and I'm still processing. And then some astrological turbulence hit me this past week. And I called her up and I asked her to please see if she could find a way to just open up some more time for me, just to delve into a particular sphere of my current condition. And she was so gracious, and she did. And it was another just banging experience, just honing in on, self-mastery is my jam, and being able to utilize the modality of human design, I think, is such a gift. And I really, really wish that these were the kinds of things that were being taught in schools, because it is just so empowering, so validating, so just grounding and affirming to be able to understand who you are on multiple levels, on multiple dimensions. And I just want to really big up both you, a baby girl, as per usual, always giving us the gems, the knowledge, the tools to be able to heal ourselves, love ourselves, grow ourselves, regain ourselves. And I just want to also thank Jazrina for just being a true steward of self-mastery, it resonates so deeply with me when she says that, human design is really all about you understanding your fullest, and I would add your best and highest potential. I think it's all about, at least for me, really gaining a compass towards my best and highest self, my Ori, my destiny, my higher best guided benevolent self. And that is why I always am just so enamored and in awe of you, Kelechi, of just always bringing these kinds of gifts to us. So I really appreciate you. I really appreciate Jazrina, and honorable mention to all the other I call them sort of spirit doulas that you have recommended over the years, whether it's Jakari Gabriel, who is another dear heart, or it's Isaiah of the Elysian Aquarius, who also has provided me just some amazing readings, a rectification one actually, which was, it really just centered me. So yeah, just want to thank you, thank Jazrina specifically, Jakari, and Isaiah, and all of the people who do this spirit work, whether it be through the modality of astrology or human design, Reiki, all of these modalities that, I know as me, as a person from West Africa, who has been severely indoctrinated into a very narrow sphere of what spirituality can be. I'm all about reintroducing myself to the indigenous ways and the indigenous roots that have sustained our people since millennia. So yeah, thank you. Such a big fan, and I cannot wait to see you in New York next week. Bye.
Imagine that's how long ago that was sent. So 3rd of April that came through. Obviously did not see it, but no, thank you so much for that. That was beautiful. 2 slaps on your chest. That was just really thoughtful, really in depth, and I greatly appreciate getting all of these gorgeous Share Your Magnificence. And Jazrina Harlow, 2 slaps on your chest, baby girl, because honestly, since Jazrina's been teaching me about human design and taking me through my chart and everything else, honestly, I'm telling you, things have opened up, and they've opened up, but it's also allowed me a sense of ease as well. Let me just move this microphone towards me a bit. It's also allowed me a sense of ease as well, because I just feel like I understand so much more now. When things are a bit slow, I'm really understanding my strategy. And when I feel that excitement, I make the videos, I do the things, I type the things, I go for a run. I use the energy when it's available to me, but I don't beat myself up when that energy isn't there. And so it's just really, really important to be able to hone that. So yeah, thank you so much for sending that in. I really appreciate it. Do I have another Share Your Magnificence? I don't know if I put it in my notes, because we've also got I've got another Share Your Magnificence. Let's see. Here we go. Hey, Kelechi, I hope you and Lev are well. I also hope you had, is that coming through? Hold on. I'm just making sure I can hear myself. My worst nightmare is to be recording all of this, and then all I've been doing is, and there's no sound coming through. I will fall down immediately. Because Mercury in Gatorade, I'm not with it. I'm not with it about. Anyway, hey, Kelechi. I hope you and Lev are well. I also hope you had a blast in NYC. I'll try to keep this short and succinct. I guess I'll be putting myself into Share Your Magnificence this week. I won't bore you with all the drama, etc. But over the past 2 years, my mental health has taken a beating. Over the years, I've always been diagnosed with as depressed, and I've always been treated for depression, but it never lasts long. This year, I've been doing CBT therapy, and over the sessions, my therapist and I realized I actually suffer from anxiety, and I've been amazing at masking it and not recognizing the signs. Trigger warning. Earlier this year, I had thoughts and plans of unaliving myself because I felt like a burden and like everyone would be better off without me, making them miserable. So I ended up on antidepressants, which are working. I've been on them since the end of Feb / beginning of March, so I don't feel so distressed anymore. I'm still having up and down days, but I'm still here. So yay me, lol. I've also been speaking more kindly to myself these past weeks and changing the vocabulary that I tend to use to describe myself. I'm not antisocial. I actually really enjoy being around people. I just find it a bit hard sometimes. So yeah, I'm putting myself in Share Your Magnificence simply because I'm still here. I'm still here. Anyway, also, it was lovely bumping into you at Jessica's Catch Me on tour a few weeks ago. I was the mum that brought my daughter. Oh, that's so lovely. I remember you. I'm also putting you in Share Your Magnificence because I can only imagine how unhinged I looked that day. And I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me. It might have just been 2 minutes or so, but to me, it felt like a good half hour. And I really felt seen by you at a time where I really felt invisible and still a bit out of it. So thank you. I know you always say you're friendly, but not nice. But my short experience of you is that you really are amazing. Thank you. Also, big up yourself on your book. I can't wait for it to come out. I really hope my fellow bookish people took you up on your promo book offer a few weeks ago, or maybe it was a few months ago. If you still have any left, I'd like to get one for my book podcast. If not, then that's okay. I'll pre-order a copy. I know normally this is where people attach their birth charts for you to do a reading, but I don't actually know mine. Neither parent remembers what time I was born, and I can't seem to find that info anywhere. Sigh. But when you release reading slots, I'll book a private reading with you. I hope you have a productive week ahead. A healing baby girl. Thank you so much for that. 2 slaps on your chest. Baby girl, I know it's not easy to be here in this dunya. I know it's not easy to be on this planet. It's not easy, but you are doing amazing, sweetie, because for that light, for that energy, thank you, Lev, for that energy to be, to exude from you when we met, and then you brought your daughter and she was having her meal while we were having the discussion. And I just love that because, you know, we roll with our children where we need to roll with our children too. It really is that. Like, I keep looking over. I looked over to the left. If you see me looking over to the side, it's because, you know, I'm obviously paying attention to what Lev is doing to my office. But yeah, we really have to. What? Who said what? I said Lev. And today there. So yeah, we really have to do what we have to do, you know, and I appreciate you. And I love meeting people who listen to this podcast. I just feel like there's no way, I say it all the time, there's no way that you can listen to this podcast and be bad vibes. You might be a bit like, you know, a bit kind of like rah, but never bad vibes. I mean, we've got small bad vibes, small, because, you know, like, you know how we roll as humans. We've got small bad vibes, but it's never stinky vibes. You know, like there's some people that have very stinky vibes, and that's not us. Like, we're cool. Leave that alone, Lev. He's probably going to touch the light before that light whacks me in the face as I'm recording this. So yeah, 2 slaps on your chest for still being here. Huh?
I'm not giving you any clothes.
You're not going to give me any clothes? Oh, so what happened then? I'll walk outside naked? Yes. Interesting choice, Lev. Thank you so much. But no, thank you, baby girl, for still being here. Thank you so much for persevering, not because of anybody else, but because of you. You deserve to experience the best that this life has, and I implore you to continue to hold on. I please just continue to hold on, because it has to get better. Like, I don't even want to make false promises, but it has to get better, because if it doesn't, I will go and drapes up Rishi and all of them man at 10 Downing Street. Okay? But it has to get better. So let's then move on to we'll do my So You Mad takeover. Let's do that. So 2 slaps on your chest, baby girl, for still being here. And then now we're going to go to, let's move. Okay. Kayode Oki, is a junior doctor and a baby boy. If you remember him from the live show at Sadler's, where he had three different outfits for the live show at Sadler's, because I said, everybody bring your best. And he was like, well, I've got more than one best, so you're going to get it, baby girl. You're going to get it. And he gave us outfit changes, you know, and got on stage to sing Have You Ever Loved Monarchy so much it made you cry? Well, clearly people are loving the monarchy, but we'll get onto that shortly. Anyway, he's he's a member of the British Medical Association, and which is a council, and because he mentioned that, you know, Britain, I think it was Britain that he was talking about, that is a white supremacist heteropatriarchy. A lot of the waywards, a lot of the unwashed, a lot of the nasties and the unseasoned decided that they would go and report him, and then it ended up in the Sun and then ended up in the Daily Mail, and they added wild pictures, decontextualizing the pictures just to move mad. So because they did that, I just thought it would be great for us to have a conversation with Kayode where he shares what actually happened from his perspective, because we will always support our baby people in everything, you know? So anyway, here's the conversation with myself and Kayode. Enjoy. So, Kayode, baby boy, you know, I feel like you're one of the staples of this podcast. Like, you've been here, you've been out here, like the live shows, letters, like Share Your Magnificence, like you've just been here. But recently you were here in a very different way, like the Daily Fail.
Like, I had plans on being on the podcast. My plan initially was to take over from Sadiq. This is not how I planned on being here. I'm just very confused. This is not what I want. This is not what I planned. Like, what the hell? But the universe said it is what it is. This is the way it's going to happen. But cool. Yeah, the daily fail. Attempted, and I'm good using that word attempted very, very intentionally to come for me, because I said stuff like the UK is a white supremacist patriarchy, and I called myself a professional troublemaker, and it's just like just lots of things that I said that were factually correct. If you have sense, if you know how to, if you sabi book, you can read and be like, yeah, okay, this is, yeah. Sometimes other people of color are the biggest supporters of white supremacy. Like, that is just look at the government that we're existing under right now, like, and look at exactly what they are doing. Like, yeah, it was just very, very interesting, because obviously it was designed in a very, very specific way to like get all the Millwall FC Mandem people in that area to just get really angry and be like, oh, he said something, get back to your own country.
It was the picture with your face painted white. I just thought, like, this is how I know that you lot have zero sense. Because what did you think that you really did here? Like, so
right?
Because people call you lot out for blackface, you're like, look at his face painted white, like, we should be enraged. It's like when they posted the picture of me wearing a black cat suit and I had this black leather kind of beret on, and I had my fist up in a black power salute, and they posted it in one of their articles talking about me. So what did you really think that you did there? Like, what were you hoping that your readers would think upon seeing that? What were you hoping?
The thing that annoyed me the most about that picture is that they were really trying to paint me as someone who's doing whiteface, and anyone who knows me, that I will never do anything half-heartedly, because no, let's be serious. I know, but
you had 2 outfits for the live show at Sadler's Wells.
3.
Sorry, 3. 3, exactly.
Like, if I was trying to do whiteface, which I wouldn't do anyway, at least I'll come with a blonde bob. I would like my entire body will be painted. So I don't understand. Like, I just saw it. I was like, wow, they really thought they were doing something. Like, oh yeah, we caught a black person doing whiteface. He really hates white people. And it's like some of my really good friends are white people. I live with a white person. Sorry,
I have a white cat. I have a
Like-
white kitten heel boot.
but just kind of like, I don't know what you think you're doing, but yeah, it's not it. And also run me my check because you're using photos without permission.
Yeah.
I don't know who gave you permission to use those photos, so you can start writing my checks. I'm not gonna give you my address yet, but yeah, you will
And
hear
also,
from people.
even if you were doing whiteface, they like to draw a false equivalence. White people are not denigrated in that way. They haven't been shamed for being white in that way. Their features haven't been shamed in that way historically. For
No.
if you were to have been doing it, for it to be a thing. So on every account, it's stupid. On every account,
It's just dumb.
It's ridiculous. Like,
It's
so
just
what are you
actually
even saying?
dumb.
No matter which metric we use to look at whichever pictures that you lot chose, this is why we call you the daily fail, because every time you're failing,
You failed.
and it's
They
disgusting.
failed massively. They failed massively, and I was just like, yeah. When I saw the Daily Mail article, I was like, it is what it is. I think when you're a Black person in a semi-senior position, I don't know, because this is a funny thing. I don't think of myself as anyone important, but I clearly think I'm important. So
You
cool.
are.
But
You're a big deal. You're the moment, not a moment. You are the moment, okay? From when you graduated and all of these things, I said, Dr. Kayode is coming up in the place. What?
like, but I still insist I am nobody. Well, I am important, but because it's kind of like leading me to like the weird med Twitter anonymous / not anonymous people hate, because for years there have been certain groups of people who have just not liked me. They like my favorite word or phrase that they use for me is main character, right? So you have like these anonymous accounts with like 10,000 20,000 followers calling me and my 5,000 followers a main character. I'm just like, why am I a main character in your life? Like, why don't you want it to be a main character in your own life?
Right, but that's why they're anonymous. Imagine they're amassing those followers and they have to be anonymous because they can't say whatever that they want to say with chest. They cannot. So here you are coming through, cutting through, doing what you need to do, being excellent, being gorgeous. They're gagged. And you know, who can blame them? Well, us, we're about to blame them.
Yes, we are about
But
to blame them.
what was the headline? What was it like when you just, boom, you saw a headline and it was you? Yes.
So it was actually the Sun newspaper who published first.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So on Thursday, the Sun newspaper published. I saw the article and I was just kind of like, go on. Like
Main character.
I was like, they called me, oh, union, blah, blah, blah. Says UK is a white supremacist, union troublemaker who has been behind the agitation for the junior doctors strike, called Britain a white supremacist patriarchy. And I was like, Guan. I did say that. I did say that.
Worked.
And then I saw the photo, like this one. They didn't use the one with the white face. They used another photo, and I was like, I remember that event. I was at uni. That was Music Society ball. I was wearing colors. I was giving the girls fashion. I was like, wow, I really did not take a bad picture. But I saw it, and then I go to work the next day on Friday, and I'm just talking to like one of my colleagues at work. And she literally, she was like, yeah, Kaide, I read the article, but like, you know, where's the lie? That was literally what she said. Like, her first words were, where's the lie though? And everybody was just like, where's the lie? Where's the lie? Where's the lie? And then on Friday, that's when the Daily Mail article came out. And for me, that's where things went left. Because on that same Friday, there was another person who was suspended for doing anti-Semitic things. And they released the comments to the Daily Mail. saying that he's been suspended and everything, that is so disgusting. And like literally what he said was actually objectively
Wild.
just wild, disgusting,
Yeah.
like making fun of the Holocaust. I'm like,
No.
and I don't want to say it's I don't want to say it's funny, but like the interesting thing is that person, I'm not gonna say their name. I got into a little one-to tussle with them because of them spouting white supremacist rhetoric in the past.
Wow.
So I knew of them already, and I knew of them and the people that they organize with, and I was like, now what you guys are doing,
Not my bag.
this is not a bit of me. I don't like it. I don't like it's not a bit of me. I don't want any of that. Because it's just not my vibe. So there was that, but on the same day they also released a statement about me that I'd been suspended, and to be honest, I think that's where the trouble started, because I feel like that's damning someone that like, because I can't say too much, but I think institution processes are institution processes, and every institution is entitled to their process. I didn't go into this thinking that me being the way that I am and me being the person, the way that I speak, that I will not be subject to institutionness. I'm nearly 30. I've been through many different institutions, and I've seen many different things. It's, to be honest, it's because I've been through many institutions, it's probably why I joined in the first place.
So this is joining the the BMA, is it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the British Medical Association.
British Medical Association, and they're a union for doctors or everybody.
For junior for all doctors, and also professional body, and like that's the specific reason I specifically joined, because if there's from my own personal experience, so like just in the number of things I've done in my short time on this planet, like I've worked as a teaching assistant, I've run my own summer programs for young people, and I have seen I have seen like how much we let down people, and how much we let down Black people specifically. So for me, being part of them, it's like whatever industry I'm in, like the Black people, our voice needs to be heard there. Like it needs to be heard. So that's why I joined. I was like, you can't forget about us. Somebody needs to loud up and say the things that nobody necessarily wants to hear, but somebody needs to say it. Like it just needs to be said. And what you do with that, that's your own problem. Because I think you even said it on last week's, I don't know, podcast episode. and it's so funny because I was listening to with one of my friends, and he was like, why are you people the same? I was like, I don't know, because my vibe is just like, I will say what I need to say, then it's up to you. Do with that information what you want to do, but you cannot say you didn't know because I told you.
That
has been my vibe since I don't know what flipped the switch in me whilst I was in medical school, but whilst I was in medical school, I was just like, I would say what I need to say. But when something bad happens, then you can't say you didn't know. So that's always been my motivation for everything. So just like coming back to it, I think, I'm not gonna lie, I know I shouldn't really be talking about union processes, and because it's meant to be confidential. And I'm not saying anything that isn't out there already, but I think that statement was something. Like it was really something. I was like, wow, is this?
So this is the British Medical
doing?
Association's, their statement about you.
Yeah,
I'm bringing it up now because I just, to me, the whole thing has just been a wild state of affairs, because like you do so much, and
like I would say the statement is factually true. because I was suspended. That is what they said. But I think making a public statement that someone's suspended, it has different consequences to just suspending someone.
Yeah, and I'm looking at it. Is this the British Medical Journal where it says the BMA has suspended a junior doctor, Kayode from its council while a complaint is investigated. The reason behind the suspension, which occurred on Friday, 21st of April, has not been confirmed, although the action came after the Sun and the Mail Online ran negative articles about previous comments the Foundation Year 1 doctor had made on social media relating to race, racism, and white supremacy. A spokesperson from the BMA said concerns raised need to be properly and sensitively investigated by our external and independent investigators, and we have asked Dr. Oroki to step back from BMA business while the investigation is carried out. This is a neutral step, and no decisions or outcomes have been reached in this case. What's it? Just reading the full thing, or is it going to tell me that I need to subscribe because I'll cuss them out? Yeah,
it's going to tell you need to subscribe.
Yeah, piss off.
No, leave the BMJ alone. They pay me.
Okay.
I'm a podcast girly for them. They pay me, so leave them alone.
I like that. So we'll leave them out of it, but I'm not paying to read the rest of the thing. But yeah. I think that is so wild because nothing you said ultimately. This is why I wanted you to be part of the So You Mad takeover. I was reading that and I was just like, but where is the lie? Like, why is somebody being penalized? Why is somebody being investigated for merely stating the truth? When we say to you, black women are 5 times more likely to die during childbirth
why
in
is that
to white women. Why is that? Why is that? Where did it come from? You know what? Where did we find her?
I need to tell you a story. Oh my God, I need to tell you a story. Because in an unnamed medical school, they decided to do discrimination in medicine tutorials. And one of the tutorials genuinely nearly finished me because my friend knows that I like to talk. So as soon as he saw it, he took the screenshots and sent him. Was like, Kayode, I don't even know what to say about this. And I read it and I nearly cried. I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing. So it's a medical school in the UK, and it's a medical school in Scotland. So a black woman. So this is the tutorial. This is the source material. Like a black woman goes into A&E, right? With some problem with her knee. The pain is so much that she can't wait there. She can't stand. This is important. The pain is so much that she can't wait, but she can't stand. An English doctor in this A&E goes to her and says, "Oh, hi, I'm Mr. Doctor Man. I'm here to help you." And this black woman, in her racism, says, "I don't want to have an English doctor. I'm in Scotland. I want a Scottish doctor." And that was discrimination. It gets worse.
Oh my God.
When the English doctor tells her that this is unacceptable and whatnot, in her anger, in her stupor, she arises and storms out of the emergency department. And I'm just like, okay. So this is
black
a woman.
Women don't feel pain. That she lied about her pain. She came through, and then being an angry black woman really just riled up her veins, and she was able to now move.
She was able to move. Then it gets worse. It actually gets worse. So the resolution of the situation was this woman has stormed out in her anger. The anger was a painkiller, clearly. Right, the anger healed the pain. She has walked out. The way they resolved it was by calling the police. So I'm reading this and thinking,
oh my God,
why are you teaching your students how best to kill black women? Because that is how I read it. Because
that's literally what it is. Because black women are going to come in angry and racist. Because they'll come in as racist, and then they're gonna storm out, and you must protect yourself from a black woman that came to the A&E in pain, protect her by calling the police so they can hopefully kill her and possibly take a picture and post it on WhatsApp. That is what we do.
And I saw it. I had to do tap a keyboard warrior and email
Yes.
the medical school in question. I was like, you guys are wayward, and this is exactly
Yes.
why. And the funny because I think so some people who were in that meeting listen to this podcast, and there's a certain phrase that whenever anyone uses, I literally cry, because the reason they gave for those tutorials and that scenario was that it was somebody's lived experience.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So
We're
but
just throwing words about
we're just
now.
throwing,
We're
you
just
don't
throwing
understand
words
what it
about and
means.
see what happens. Lived experience, intersectionality. We just
But you
throw
don't know what it
whatever we
means.
like
You're just
about.
using it. But like, one of the medical students at that medical school came into the meeting with me as well, because like it's not a tutorial that I was experiencing. It's not so like, obviously I'm going to elevate the voices of the people that it's affected and be like, you come with me, let's go have this meeting with them together. And what the medical school didn't realize was that she's a baby girl, she's a bad bee, she's the baddest it ever was.
Amen.
She's a sociologist. She's done like ethnographic studies in other countries. Like, she's a babe, but she's also a medical student. She's in her 30s, but she looks like she's early 20s. So they think so I think they thought they were talking to like some small girl. And she gave the biggest shade I've ever seen before, that I needed to turn off my camera. She just goes, does anyone here have a definition, like maybe like a working understanding definition of what lived experience means? She paused.
Yeah.
She was like, okay, nobody? No? I'll explain. I was like, I'm finished. I was like,
a queen.
Well done.
A queen. And
well
we don't
done.
even like throwing that word around here, but a queen. Bloody hell. Gave it to them.
That read was like, my jaw genuinely dropped.
Wow.
Like, my jaw dropped. I was like, wow.
Because a lot of them don't know what they're saying. It's like that news, when that news program where the person was asked, like, what does woke mean? What do you understand woke to mean? And then it's like, because you don't know.
Because they don't know.
You don't know.
They
All of you
just
are
want to
just
say
winding
words.
yourselves up for no reason over words that you do not understand the context of. All you know is that it applies in some way to Black people, and you don't like Black people, so you're going to come.
So you have to be against it.
Yes. You'll come and move around what the word means to make sure that it just like it lacks usefulness to the people who need it most.
And it's just like one of those anonymous accounts, like, has been annoying me for months, right? I blocked them ages ago, but it's honestly giving fan behavior. It's giving somebody that I did not give attention once upon a time, and now they're like, I will get your attention at some point. And they showed their own yash and actually confirmed it in midst of all of this, because my reach is long. Like, I know people everywhere, and people are always watching, and somebody screenshot and I was like, look, here's the receipt. But it was just kind of like, they then went through my Twitter, and they found one thread when I said that women should go around and slap men at random, and I still stand by that.
Again, I'm trying to understand what the problem is.
No, I genuinely still stand by that. It was like, he's inciting violence against men. I was like, yes, but in what
a world
context?
that oh God.
In what context? Because I was specifically replying to someone who was talking about like their childhood growing up in Italy and all these different men doing XYZ. And I was like, maybe women should start slapping men at random so men have a bit of fear. Because men are only doing this because they think they can get away with it. So when a man knows that at any point they could anybody could slap them at any point, they'll start moving correctly. Because there's a really interesting, they're not paying me, but I'll say it anyway. There's a really interesting TV program on Amazon Prime called The Power, and it's really so teenage girls get the ability to be able to like electrocute people from their fingers. And it just leads to like a lot of stuff happening. I'm like on episode 5 now, and I'm like, this is the conversation that we need to be having. that when
If I could
women
shoot electricity out of my fingers, this world would be a better place.
and like because women were able to do that, like leads to like so many uprisings and everything, and people starts, you know, like men starts being a little bit afraid, and obviously like the incel culture people, then they do their own nonsense. They'll be like, oh my god, women are trying to do blah 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 to us, but it just shows that people are just so scared about what you would do if you have the power.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that this is what like this whole backlash I feel stems from. It's a fear of what would a black man do if he had the power to do so. Like, again, someone said black people are lucky that black people don't want revenge. I don't want revenge. I just want to be left alone. I want to be left alone to
Just leave
thrive.
me alone with my nice things and my life. That's all I'm asking for. Like, I don't want to be part of the king's coronation. Don't want to be like, I just want to be left alone.
Just
Just
want to
like
be left
leave
alone. Just
me.
want peace.
Simple,
And
simple.
yeah.
But I just think it is ultimately unfair as somebody that's had like news articles run about me that it's just like not what things are. Like, it can be really, really triggering, especially when you are actively working as well. You are part of an institution right now. Like, you're working, me, in essence, like, I'm self-employed. I'm just out here, you know, like, I'm just a free agent. But when you are working and so active, and this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the nature of white supremacy and why I wanted you to do the So You Mad takeover, because like, we literally just talked about black women being more likely to die during childbirth. God forbid, you know, everybody that's, you know, pregnant right now, I'm wishing you all of the best, like, you know, God's protection over you and all of them things there. We also know that when people with sickle cell go in, they're treated like, no, I can't even say they're treated like dogs, because in this country, dogs are treated so well in the grand scheme of things.
Like, honestly, like even sickle cell, I have like a specific story where like one of my friends from Scotland, her sister was visiting London, South London. She went to South London Hospital, and they, like everybody knows, for sickle cell, you give them loads of pain relief, them loads of fluids. They weren't even doing that. I had to be on the phone with my friend, being like, this is what you need to tell them in the hospital to do XYZ. I even got up their own hospitals guidelines for how they're meant to manage patients with sickle cell, and I was reading it to them over the phone. I was like, this is what you need to be doing. Like, healthcare is wild. When I say stuff like, sometimes doctors, medical practitioners, they are so willing to prop up white supremacist rhetoric. Like, that is just the facts. And you generally need people out there who are like, come,
not on my watch. Yeah. Behave yourself. And
you
that's why
genuinely
it's
need
important.
that.
Yeah, and that's why it's important that you're there. So it's not lost on me that they're trying to antagonize you to not be part of unions and conversations and councils that could implement change, that could actually enforce and impact change or speak up for it. Like, they don't want you there, and that in and of itself is white supremacy in action. So all of these anonymous accounts that once they find out that you're on this, they'll come and listen, to come and find something else to come and say about you. I'm glad that you've brought your ears to me in this moment. I'm glad that you brought your ears to me in this moment, because I want you to hear, as I say this over your spirit, as I say this over your life, it will never ever be well with you. It will never be well with you. People are dying. Black people are dying when they are coming to be treated, when they're coming to be looked after. Essentially, they're hoping for protection when they come at their most vulnerable. And here you are with your raggedy, unwashed pum and penis, or whatever, your unwashed assholes. You're here trying to antagonize a person that is trying to do good. And for that reason, this curse that I'm laying on you through your eardrums is going to touch you, and it's going to touch your lineage until you desist. Unless you desist from this wayward behavior and get off those burners and walk into the light and go and touch some grass, it will not be well for you or the people around you that you love, because this is raggedy bitch behavior. And I just wanted you to know that. And that's why I wanted Kayode to be on here today, so you could come and listen, because your hatred for him has now led to you receiving and chopping a curse over your own destiny. That's all.
Ashe. Sorry, I did. Just if anyone's listening, it's not me that said it all.
It needed to be me. You said nothing. You faced
I
your
said
front.
nothing.
In fact, your earphones weren't even working. You don't know
I didn't
what
hear
I said.
anything. I literally
Simple.
I didn't hear anything. And then to the non-anonymous people, sorry, but sorry, all I have to say to you is lol, because no, because there's one person, sorry, she literally came and screenshotted my profile and said, "I'm blocked," in brackets. I blocked him first.
You sad cow. What are you doing?
I like when someone showed me that, I had to laugh because I was like, okay,
Yeah.
yes, okay.
I guess you did something. Like, okay, you blocked
Well
me first.
done.
Ooh, ow, ooh, yeah. No, it is important for you, Kayode, to be protected at all costs. And I just felt like it would be, wonderful for you to be here today and come back. You're a friend of the podcast. Come back whenever, when it's
Yes.
not drama over these people and these institutions. But it was important for you to be here because it's important for us also to know how to support somebody like yourself who's doing such amazing work. So is there anything that we can do at all right now with all of this stuff that's happening?
Yeah, like I genuinely, I feel so blessed because by the amounts of support I've got, like I knew I had friends, but I didn't know I had friends like that. And like just that outpouring of support from people that I've helped before, or other people in the medical community, people in Nigeria even, because Nigerians are bad vibes. So I'm Nigerian, I'm allowed to say it. Like even like my hospital, my program director, my education supervisor, like I've spoken to them, they've been like, you're a great doctor. Like my old bosses have been like, we support you. So these two consultants who I've never even worked with, they've started a petition on change.org about the BMA's decision. And yeah, I can send the link for it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, just to like put some extra pressure. Like, to be honest, the way I'm feeling right now, I don't know if I'll carry on doing stuff. I genuinely don't know, but I'll make that decision when I make that decision.
Yeah, you have a rest, but we appreciate everything you've done. If you go, I don't want to do any more, fine. But if you are going to continue, we're with you all of the way. You are a light, and I just feel safer interacting with, the healthcare, the medical world, the healthcare industry, knowing that you are a part of it, that there are people like you who are a part of it. So it will be a shame. It will be like a tarnish, a stain on their reputation if they were to do anything that would make you feel like you don't want to continue speaking out and doing the things that you're doing to impact change. So please do send me the link for the change.org petition so I can post it and everybody can get involved in supporting you and sharing it with their people as well, because the Sun, and this is the thing, the Sun, this is why Liverpool hates you. Like, this is why Liverpool hates you, because of the nonsense that you do, you dickheads. This is why Liverpool hates you. As the Daily Fail, it will never be well with you lot anyway, so who's even got time? But we must show that outward support in real time. So yeah, do send me the link and we'll do that.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for joining me.
So there you have it. A great conversation with a baby boy. Very much showing that a lot of these unions are very, very mad people. And I hope that they make the right decision. I hope that they rectify this, whatever they've done about, suspending or while they investigate or whatever the hell. Like, get your act together, British Medical Association, because the facts are there. We're not imagining it. The facts are literally there about the inherent racism that's within the healthcare system. So why are you behaving like this? Because it's been pointed out, and you've got a few burners that are deciding to be stupid. Anyway, let's move on. So obviously, you know that, if you're listening to this at the time that it's out, this Saturday, 6th of May, will be the coronation of KC3, also known as Charlie Boy, also known as Lizzie's son. Well, Andrew's more her son, isn't he? Like he's the one that she was defending, even though he's a nonce. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. Let's move it on. So we've got here that because the coronation is happening, I feel like everybody is really, really showing their nyash. Black people specifically, I'm talking about black people who are going to be a part of this coronation and they don't feel any way. And you know what? I've really got to say that seeing the black people that are coming forward to be part of this coronation lets me know that we're nowhere near a revolution. You know, I try to be positive. I try to be galvanizing on this podcast, but I think we've really just got to accept that there are some people, quite a lot of people, who are happy with the status quo and they don't plan on changing that anytime soon. Like, they are happy to assimilate into British culture, the parts of British culture that contradict their own heritage and their history. And people might look at it and be like, Kelechi, let it go. Like, we're in Britain, so of course we're going to do what British people do. And I guess I'm just not like the rest of you, man. I guess I'm just not. Because even when it comes to World Cups and Euros and things like that, I just can't bring myself to celebrate the way that you lot do. And I just feel like maybe I'm the party pooper. But I just think that our histories, they remain so visceral within me that I can't join you there, you know? It's weird. And it's harder because I know that the people who are really driving this great quote unquote PR for Charles, they're black. Like, behind the scenes, they're black. And that's so weird to me. But whatever. I just feel like we're nowhere near where I would hope that we would be. Anyway, Floella Benjamin, she was one of the first black people that we had on TV for like children's TV shows and things like that. And for that, I rate her. Big up yourself, auntie. Like, you were out here. You've been out here for a minute. I get it. However, it says here, details of who will carry the priceless regalia and take part in a coronation procession at Westminster Abbey on the 6th of May has been released by Buckingham Palace. The former TV presenter Floella Benjamin and the human rights barrister Helena Kennedy are among those selected for the historic roles in which the crown jewels, remember that the jewels were stolen, the crown jewels will be processed through the Abbey ahead of King Charles and Camilla, Cam, the side chick. The Queen Consort is what they've called her. The St. Edward's crown with which Charles III will be crowned will be borne by the Governor of the Tower of London, General Sir Gordon Messenger. Camilla's crown will be carried by the Duke of Wellington. The St. Edward's staff will be carried by the former Director General of the MI5, Elizabeth Manningham Buller. What a name. She sounds like a spy. Kennedy will carry the Queen Consort's rod. So she's going to carry Charles's willy. Anyway, while Benjamin will carry King Charles's scepter with Dove. Benjamin said, to be selected to carry the sovereign scepter with Dove, which represents spirituality, equity, and mercy, is for me very symbolic, as is everything I stand for, and sends out a clear message that diversity and inclusion is being embraced. Jesus Lord. Christ, the people that you gave melanin to are misbehaving. Penny Mordaunt, as leader of the Commons and Lord President of the Council, is to carry the King's Sword of State. The historic role of King's Champion, who in bygone days would ride on horseback into the coronation banquet and challenge any who doubted the right of the King or Queen to the throne, falls to Francis Dymoke, a former accountant and a 34th generation of the family to run the Scrivelsby country estate in Lincolnshire, whose family has performed the role since the Middle Ages. As there has not been a coronation banquet since that held by King George IV in 1821, which by all accounts was the most lavish event, the role is a little more sedate and now involves carrying the royal standard. Petty Officer Amy Taylor will be the first woman to bear the jeweled sword of offering, selected to represent servicemen and women. She said, having served most of my senior career as an aircraft engineer on 845 Naval Air Squadron at RNAS Yeovilton, where His Majesty originally trained and served as a pilot, I am deeply honoured and humbled to play my part in this historic event. Faith leaders and representatives will head the first procession into Westminster Abbey, followed shortly by representatives from the King's realms. Flags of each realm will be carried by national representatives accompanied by governors general and prime ministers. Oh, it's left moving things. Bearing the UK flag ahead of Rishi Sunak and his wife, Akshata Murthy, will be Cadet Warrant Officer Elliot Tyson Lee, who said, it's a great and incredible honour to be part of Their Majesty's coronation service as a representative of the Royal Air Force Air Cadets. So I used to be an air cadet. I think I've said that lots of times. Not that I'd be part of the coronation, but I would have been cute as part of the procession. But I've been to drill competitions and we did great. So anyway, that's by the by. Anyway, this is just long. I don't actually care about all of this information that they're giving me because I don't give a damn about the coronation. Like, what is my own? The only thing I wanted to say there is, like, Auntie Floella, this isn't about diversity and inclusion. To be asked to carry the scepter and dove or whatever the fuck that they've asked you to do. Oh God, I swore. I was doing so well. Jesus of the expletives. Anyway, it's not about what you think it's about, and stop lying to people. Like, I feel like it really, really enrages me when just because you're included, these historically oppressive institutions will invite you lot to come through, and then you'll be like, oh my God, progress. Oh my God, inclusion. Oh yeah, representation. Representation what? If you were invited into the fourth circle of hell, would that feel like representation? Would you be like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's so hot down here, but it's wonderful though. It's great to have a black person in the fourth circle of hell. Oh, I'm just glad. My ancestors would be so proud. Leave it. Just say that like you love it, that it's great for you, but don't make it out like this institution can be any different to what it is. I will take things more seriously when you tell me that Charles is going to redistribute his wealth. Gonna stop, instead of calling the Commonwealth, calling all of these places that your family, in your family's name, they've been raped, pillaged, colonized, all of that stuff. If you're going to tell me that you're going to return the wealth to them, even going, you know what, I don't want to wear the crown because I know that we stole the jewels, then I'd know that you're about something, but you're about nothing. So all of this is just PR to dress up poo. We're just adding gold paint to poo is all that this is. And like, even you lot that are proud to be part of this, we're apparently in a cost of living crisis at Cosy Lives. You are aware of this. I know that you are aware of this. And this event is going to cost at least £250 million or so. So while people are starving, you're happy to participate in an absolute waste of money that for somebody to put a hat to perform. You're basically part of a ritual. I also hope that you know that. You're being part of a ritual. This is spell work. You're being part of a ritual. I just wanted to point it out because people have so much to say about indigenous practices and our quote unquote rituals. By you taking part in this coronation, you are also being part of a ritual, right? Cool. So this hat wearing ritual that's going to cost at least £250 million when people are having to go to food banks in order to eat. They can't turn on their heating. They can't do this. They can't do that. We don't have money for childcare. People are out here struggling. You are happy to be part of this foolish event where money is being drained. Taxpayer money is being drained. And the royal family already eat enough taxpayer money as it is. But you're happy to be part of something so ludicrous when people who look like you are struggling. That just lets me know that everybody's mad. Just lets me know that everybody's mad. I don't care what hat you want to put on that I was going to swear again. I don't care what hat you want to put on that guy's head. It's not my business. And you're spending all of this money. I think in about 2-3 years, you're going to have to spend that money again to bring that one, pegging the pegging prince. You're going to have to spend the money again to coronate him or however you call it. You're going to have to do it because them eclipses and our amp. But whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Third, So You Mad, Brian McKnight apparently is a deadbeat, and that breaks my heart. And I want everybody to officially know that because of this, I have given up on romance. Like, I listened to what Toni Morrison told us about the destructive nature of romance and beauty as constructs that's been sold to us in this society. But I held on hope, you know. I held on to a morsel of hope. And then I found out that Brian McKnight is actually a waste man. And now everything is gone for me. You gave me the most beautiful love songs, gorgeous love songs, and I can't even enjoy those love songs anymore because I know that you're a pussy clut. Swore again. This is going well. So Brian McKnight, if you don't know, is an incredible singer. R&B, is that what you call it? Over the years, like some real beautiful songs, sweet songs. And he's not all right. So he named his first child Brian. I know that lots of men do that. His first child was Brian McKnight Jr. Put that down. His first son was Brian McKnight Jr. And then his recent baby, he's also named Brian McKnight as well. So you just want all of your children to be named after you. But that's not the worst part. This is what he wrote. Remember that he's been married before. He has other children. He has biological children that he's cut off from his will and all sorts. Been married before, but this is what he wrote. Dear baby Brian, that's the new Brian, you know. Every time I look at you and kiss on you, I'm feeling feelings that I did not know I could possess. He has other children. An overabundance of love between a father and his legacy that cannot be measured. You see, I never was a sentimental man. What do you mean? What do you mean, Brian? Mr. McKnight, what do you mean that you never were a sentimental man? Because I need answers, because I have loved your songs. How dare you? Is this how them people feel, the ones that love that Pied Piper, that Pied Piper of pussyclattery? Because I'm hurt. Are you telling me all this time that you weren't even feeling? You said 1, you're like a dream come true. 2, just want to be with you. 3, because it's plain to see that you're the only one for me. And 4, what for, Brian? What for? Because it feels like now I'm starting back at 1, but the 1 is in hell because you've snatched away the idea. Like, I mean, even Anthony Hamilton moved a bit mad. Like, you lot just sing the songs and you're not even living the lives. What false prophets? Jesus of the songbirds. My God. You see, I never was a sentimental man. Not until I met your mummy and fell head over heels in love with her. One thing men will always have is the audacity. Men will always have the audacity. So you're saying you never felt anything until this moment when you met this person. So also what you're telling us is that you couldn't love your other children because you didn't feel anything for the mothers that you had the children with. Oh, I hate you. Whew. You see, I never was a sentimental man, not until I met your mummy and fell head over heels in love with her. And I also hate when men do that. They make it like their respect for you, their ability to treat you like a human being depends on how much they desire you. And it depends on some kind of switch going on off in their head that makes them feel like, yes, you're worth me treating you like a human being. You're worth me treating you like an actualized person. Everybody else, oh no, they didn't quite make it. They just weren't quite right. And this is patriarchy at play, because when you ask them, what did you actually bring to the table? What did you actually contribute to that dynamic of this person that just wasn't quite right? Nothing. You denied that person your presence, yet you still expected them to be their whole self. Like, is everybody, even like, no, I've got to touch on it. There is another pandemic that we are not addressing, but I can see that it's getting worse and worse. Men are starting to talk about polyamory even more. They really think that they're going to talk about ethical non-monogamy. Polyamory isn't what some of you lot think it is. You lack the ability to be present and honest with one person. One person. Why the hell do you think that you will then have the ability to be authentic and present and communicative with more than one person, with multiple people? You seem to think that polyamory means that, oh, well, yeah, I just, this way I can just be with, what you want to do is just sleep with as many women as possible and not feel like you're lying. I don't think that that is what is really being expressed through polyamory. You don't have the ability for that. You just want to casually date people. But it's not that, isn't it? It's not that either. You want for the people that you're sleeping with to be invested in you, but to know about each other, so it absolves you of having to be accountable in any way when you're not actually pouring into anybody, but you can go from place to place to place and have them all equally devoted to you. Is that not insanity? Is that not insanity? Some of you haven't committed to moisturizing your legs when you've got, because you said because you're going to be wearing trousers for the whole day. But you think you can commit to multiple women. I think that a lot of you are stupid. I really think that a lot of you are stupid, and you're causing so much damage in your wake, and it really needs to be rectified. It really needs to be rectified, because this behavior is getting out of hand. Back to this person. And because of our love for one another, I realized my true reason for being here on this earth. And it's not to be her loving, faithful husband. No, sorry. And it's to be her loving, and it's to be her loving, faithful husband, and to create the legacy of that love. My namesake, my joy, my baby boy, you. He's talking like this is the first child he's ever had. But it's the first child that he's had with these positive emotions that he was feeling while he was writing us songs that he didn't even believe in. Wow, that rhymed. Me doing spoken word. Ow. And his other children, apparently he cut them off. He wasn't paying for their things because, he wants them to learn, find their own way. But his new boo that had children before, he bought her a car and they were celebrating. His new boo's child, the one that's not, the girl's not his new boo's daughter, she goes to the same college, I believe, as one of his other children, one of his biological children. He'll go and visit the new boo's daughter, but not his biological daughter. Like, you're a waste man. You're a waste man, Brian McKnight. You're a waste man. Wow. You go and start back at 1. It's been 6 months, 8 days since what? You had any sense. Even before that doesn't even work. You lacked sense before then. I'm so disappointed. I can't even enjoy songs anymore. Anytime I want to sing, you a bad man, won't you back that ass up? Everyone's like, oh, that one's a rapist or whatever they said, or he assaulted a woman. I can't. Why are you ruining it?
You're ruining it.
I can't enjoy anything because of all of your patriarchal, your very destructive behavior. I can't enjoy anything. I'll find a new series to watch. Can't watch it because you're perpetuating misogynoir. This actor, you're gorgeous. You know how to act. Oh no, you beat on women. You steal everything. And yet you're like, oh, we don't want to call it toxic masculinity because it's stopping us from expressing ourselves. What the hell do you want to call it then? What do you want to call it? Because toxicity is very apt for what's happening. We can't enjoy the things because you're tainting it. You're poisoning the things because you're unwilling to address your behavior and how it impacts other people. Lord, it is just the worst. And like the whole Brian McKnight thing. Thank you, Lev, for that yawn. The whole Brian McKnight thing actually goes very, very deep, but I'm not getting into it. I was going to talk about Lawrence Tate, but I just think why, he just mentioned that he thinks that Hollywood, I guess, favors Black British actors, that, but the way that the headline was written on, is it Vibe or Vibe? They wrote it and they just made it very clickbaity, because we can't keep having this argument over and over and over again. We're all trained differently due to like the socioeconomic things that come with hiring Black actors. Sometimes they go for them because of equity, unions, all of that stuff. I don't know. Like, there's so many components to it. Don't write clickbait articles when Lawrence himself, when he was describing what he was describing, he didn't talk about it in that way. Like, don't be unfair, don't be unfair. And at the end of the day, us Black British actors, we're suffering in this England. So you better believe that when we get that audition, we are going to act like our visa depends on it. We're going to act. Even the actor that's never been able to bring tears out from their tear ducts before, when they smell how close that they are to that visa, to being able to get out of this dump, to be able to get out of this Babylon, not that America's much better, but like, you'll be acting, you'll actually have a role. You're not just in the background. Over here, what prominent roles in films and movies do Black people really even get? You've got to go to America to go and get the things. That's why we're acting like our life literally depends on it, because our life literally depends on it. So I'm so sorry, but we're going to deliver, because we can't come and suffer in this island. We cannot come and continue to suffer in this place that they call Britain. Sorry about it, okay? This is now called Say Your Mind Podcast, because Lev has changed the title. Anyway, campus racism. University of Manchester apologises over slurs in class. Black students who staged a walkout in protest against racist language in lectures and seminars have received apologies from Manchester University. Undergraduates say they complained about a lecturer's use of racist slurs during a French class, but when the staff member repeated the word at other times despite complaints, they decided to launch the protests. A spokesperson said senior staff had apologised and it was working with students to address the issues raised. Students told the BBC's If You Don't Know podcast, as Lev would prefer, the lecturer first used the French version of a racist slur when reading from a text during a seminar in November 2021. She then repeated it in English, the students say. Sharon, they've changed her name, who was present at the time, says she was stunned when she heard it, particularly when the teacher said its connotations were not that offensive in French. It was so humiliating, she says. I just remember walking back to the halls after a seminar just crying because I couldn't believe it. I just felt so upset. Sharon's next experience in May 2022 prompted her to make an official complaint. She says the same lecturer gave her racialized feedback about her end-of-year essay on equality in the French legal system. She told me not to be tempted to use the essay as a platform for personal exasperation or indignation around racism. Imagine. I just felt so upset when I read that. I don't think my work is above critique at all, but it felt so racialized. Sharon's complaint led to a meeting with the university and she was offered a personal apology from the lecturer she'd complained about, but she turned it down as she wanted an apology for the whole seminar group, which didn't happen. Another student, Anya, changed the name, says she also witnessed the lecturer using the same slur in French, which she read out in a lecture and a seminar in January and February of this year. Anya says the teacher basically misled the students about what it meant. It was after these that students decided to walk out in protest. We decided that at this point it was time for collective action and it was the only way for our voices to be heard, says Anya. As Black students, we feel like we shouldn't have to hear such a violent anti-Black slur. It's absolutely crazy. Students have also complained about a culture of institutional racism in the department and want more inclusive texts in the curriculum. They say it only values the thoughts of white people. Students also want the university to strengthen its guidelines around the use of derogatory language and provide anti-racism training for all staff within the School of Arts, Languages and Cultures. The university has launched an investigation into all these issues, and students say they do have faith that changes will happen. But the saga has affected their studies. Sharon says she seriously considered dropping out and giving up on her degree, and she worries the investigation will be dragged out. It keeps me up thinking about all the classes I'm on track to fail just because of how much this has disrupted my studies. This has a huge impact on my mental health, and it's caused an acute psychological distress. Well done, my G's. Senior staff have personally apologized to students exposed to racist language and for the lack of sensitivity displayed in discussions of topics such as racism, racial representations, and colonialism. The university says it wants to continue to collaborate with students in our ongoing review process. Yes?
I'm not thinking another one. I'm thinking.
All right, go and think about it. Yeah, like to that...
I'm thinking about it.
Okay, to that lecturer, you can suck out for an eternity because you were warned you weren't even warned in 2021. 2022, they warned you, and then you still entered this year still doing the same thing. You are clearly a mad person. Like, how... It's weird how lecturers get so much joy from repeating racist phrases and being like, yeah, but it was of that time, but I can see the glee. I can see the glee in your eyes. I can see your eyes sparkling as you're saying it. Like, you're a weirdo. You're an actual weirdo. And again, yes, the institutional racism within universities is just so, is so pervasive. And it's clear, it's evident through the text that continues to be chosen for people to read. You've got to change that text up. We are tired of reading life from the perspective of dead white men, even the ones that are alive. We don't care that much. Change it up. Change it up. Spice up the thing. Because I know that if she had a book that was calling her any sort of pasty bitch, oh God, I swore again. She wouldn't be running to go and read that. She wouldn't be stressing herself out to go and read that. But she wants to have these students in a lecture where they're hearing derogatory terms about themselves. That's unfair. That's unfair. So something needs to change as far as I'm concerned. So she can suck out. And all of the universities that refuse to kind of get rid of their canonic texts or at least diversify their canonic texts, I don't want to hear it. I just don't want to know. And my last straw of the week gets sent into hell. This straw goes to hell to go and meet Carolyn Bryant, who is or was 88 years old. Carolyn Bryant Dunham was the one who accused Emmett Till of whistling at her and touching her bum all those years ago. And he was 14 at the time. Because of her accusation, when he came into her store, he was visiting on holidays, visiting his family. His mum sent him over to go and visit his family, I believe, in Mississippi. And he went into the store and she was running the store and she accused him of shit. And it led to her husband and her husband's half-brother, along with at least two other men, kidnapping Emmett from his family's home, lynching him, shooting him in the head, gouging his eyes out, cutting out his tongue, wrapping barbed wire around his neck, like castrating him. Like, they disfigured his body beyond recognition and then dumped him in the river, weighed him down and dumped him in the river. So his mum insisted when his body was retrieved that she would have an open casket, and people seeing his body, that became the catalyst for so much change within the civil rights movement, but it should have never ever been that. And they got acquitted, the husband and the half brother, they got acquitted. And after that, that's when they admitted that, yeah, they did it. They were like, we did it so to send a message out to all the other blacks, as they phrased it. And so in 2007, I believe, there was a senior researcher from Duke University who interviewed Carolyn, found her, interviewed her, and he talked to her about what she had accused Emmett of. And she said that part's not true. So essentially that was her confession. She was like, that part's not true. People have said that she's even talked about it in another book since, about all of this stuff. But she continues essentially to live her life basically saying that, well, she continued to live her life basically saying that Emmett didn't touch her. So that 14-year-old boy was killed for no reason. Killed in the most horrendous way, tortured and then killed. Like, a child. How could you live with yourself? And then now she's dead at the age of 88. And I don't want anyone to come and be like, oh, but let's not speak ill of the dead. You raggedy cow. I wish I could call you more while Lev wasn't here, or it wasn't, at the office with me. You're a really, really raggedy demon.
Unless it's not in the office.
You are in the office. That's why I'm not saying the things that I want to say. You're a really, really nasty, nasty, nasty woman, and it will never be well with you. 5 lifetimes from now, you would have not repaid that karmic debt of what you've done. You deserve everything that happens to you in every realm that you visit hereafter. You cow. You disgusting. See you next Tuesday. You raggedy, raggedy bitch. Yeah. Suck out. Suck out for an eternity. For an eternity, you nasty person. And the thing is, from the things that I saw in my visions at the ayahuasca ceremonies, even you nasty person, one way or another, you will still find your way back to source. You will still find your way back to God. But I just wish, the human part of me wishes that you had really, really been dealt with on this side, because there was an arrest warrant out for you, that was issued for you, and the police just never actioned it. Again, the way that white women are protected from the violence that they commit. Madness. So that's that. I guess that's everything. Covered all of the things. Myself and Lev somehow made it through. Never would have made it. Anyway, we made it through. Huh? Who sings that song? It's a gospel song. You wouldn't know. Anyway, that's it from myself and Lev. Like I said, you can support the children's home on a monthly basis now. I'll add the link to the show notes. I will get back to you about what dates the live show will be in Birmingham, the SYMposium. You can pre-order my book, Edge of Here. You can do that as well. Support the ting. I think that's it. Yeah. My brain is fried. That must be it. Anyway, I've been Kelechi Okafor. Lev has been here with me. This has been SYM, officially known as Say Your Mind, unofficially known as what? That's right. Suck your mom. That's it. Anyway, catch you on the flip side. Peace.
It's the Benz Brunani womanist, baby boys, baby girls, you need to hear this. If you sit down, receive this realness. Make sure your cup's ready for the tea, we are go sip it, yo. Hard time scrolling for your long shorts. You might learn something you never know. Collect you fine, and she's one of a kind. Don't say your mind, say your mind.